Alright folks, welcome to this video in a series of videos about using SQLiteAdmin to maintain your SQLite databases. We've covered most, probably all actually, of the schema maintenance issues, creating, modifying, dropping various schema objects. So I'm going to move on to what SQLiteAdmin can do for you in terms of maintaining the data in there. So just to recap, we're using a little simple CD library database here to illustrate some of these features. We've got three tables: artists, CDs, and tracks. So what I'm going to do now is add some entries to these tables using SQLite's Browse tool. So we click on there, and this is the Browse screen, just so you can see everything there. I think I might just, there we go, that's better. Okay, so here is how you display data. There's lots and lots of different things to show you in this, so I'm probably going to be doing more than one video on this. Anyway, the first thing you need to do, whatever action you want to carry out, is to select a table. So I'm going to select the artist table, and you'll see now that all these icons become available, and in this top table the columns are the columns that are in that table are listed in the headings. And down at the bottom here in this other table, the columns are actually in down here in vertical sequence. So this table will show, if there was any data in there, this table would show one row here for each row in the table, and when you clicked to select a row there, then the full information down here will be displayed about whatever row you selected. But for now, what I want to do is start adding some new rows to the artist table. So click on the new row icon, and all the data entry type of operations are carried out down in this bottom table. So here, the artist ID, of course, is a primary key, if you remember, so we don't need to supply that. I'm gonna put in here a couple of artists you may not have come across before, but here we go. So the first one I want to do is Jeff Beck, and I have no idea what record label he's on, so I'm going to leave that blank for now. And then these two icons, this one says go ahead and insert the row, and this one says change my mind, I don't want to do it after all. So click the insert row icon, and sure enough, there it is at the top. We'll put in one more. The next artist name is actually a Spanish folk group, amazing performers. So now we've got two in there, and Panda Cabell is highlighted here, and so its information turns up down here. And when I click on Jeff Beck, then his information is down here. So Jeff Beck was artist ID 1, Panda Cabell artist ID 2. Okay, so we've got a couple of artists in there. Let's add some CDs. So once again, the table's blank since we don't have any CDs in there yet. So click the new row button. Okay, the first thing to notice here is, if you remember when we defined the CDs table, we put some default values in there for various columns in there. So SQLiteAdmin will fill in those default values for you, so you don't have to worry about them, and you know exactly what's going in there that way if you can't remember what defaults were assigned. So the artist ID, I'm going to put Jeff Beck was artist ID number 1. This is one area I plan to enhance here handling of foreign key stuff. This is a foreign key back to the artist table, and I want to find a way of maybe having an option menu in here to let you select the artist ID instead of having to know what it is. I think Jeff's CD I want to put some tracks in from is called Appearing This Week, and I think I'm going to give him a CD rating of 4 right off the bat because I really like this guy. And CD total time, we're going to come back to that in a little while. I'm just going to leave it at 0 for now. So now I will put in some CDs from Andy Cabell. Their artist ID number 2. First CD I'm going to put in there is, what's it called? My Spanish is not really very good. Those guys are pretty good as well, so I'm going to give them a 4. And I'll put one more of their CDs in. This one was called simply Andy Cabell 4. And this one is so good. I'm going to give him a 5 on that one. Alright, so now we've got some CDs in there, we've got some artists in there, and I could edit any one of these entries. I've got that one highlighted. If I click the edit button, then it will bring up the existing details of that one down here. We can just simply type in our changes, click the apply button, and off we go. I'm not going to make any changes, so just click the cancel button. So now we've got some tracks. So I happen to remember that CD ID 1 was Jeff Beck's CD, and we'll start with track 1, and once again, as you can see, it's filled in the defaults that we defined for the columns. So the first track on Jeff's CD is called Beck's Bolero. Track time. I'm going to record these track times in seconds. This is really getting into application things, but you'll see why I'm doing this in a little while. So Beck's Bolero is 3 minutes and 30 seconds long, which if I'm not mistaken is 210 seconds. So I'll put that in there, and I'll leave his track rating at 3 for that one. And okay, so now just for a second I'm going to go back to the CDs again, and if you look at this first line here, this is Jeff's CD that we just entered a track for, and if you remember in one of the videos we defined a trigger for what happened at any time a track was inserted, and we said that we wanted the CD total time column in the CD table to be updated by adding the track time to it. And sure enough, you can see here that it did indeed get updated correctly, thus making one less thing we have to worry about in the actual application we write to use this database. So I'll go back to tracks again. I'm going to put a couple more in for Jeff's CD. CD ID 1. Track number 2, and track number 2 is called Eternity's Breath. Oops. And it's 1 minute and 15 seconds long, 75 seconds. That guy. Just notice here that I put The track name included a single quote or apostrophe, which is all handled correctly by SQLiteAdmin. It's escaped properly both on input and output. So now if we look back at the CD again, we should see the total time being 285. So look at that again. Sure enough, it's 285. Love it when things work the way they're supposed to. And I'll just put one more track in for this. Track 3. And this one is called Stratus. And the track time for this one is 4 minutes and 47 seconds. 287 seconds. Add that one in. Okay, so let's put a couple of tracks in for the Handicabell CDs. CD number 2 was the one with the fancy Spanish name. Track 1 there is called Condom, and it's 4 minutes and 13 seconds long, 253. Hopefully that got added to the right CD. Yep, 253 seconds. I'll just put one more track in. Track number 2 is, and it is 3 minutes 30 seconds, 210 seconds. And I'll put one more in. CD, track number, you know what, I think I'm going to move on to their other CD, which happens to be CD number 3 here, and we'll put in track number 1. And that one is 5 minutes 45 seconds, 345 seconds long. Just put one more in there so we've got lots of data to work with here. CD number 3, track number 2. Oops. Track time for that one is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That is 240, 260. Put that in. Go back and look at our CDs. Everything's updated just fine. Okay, I think I will leave it at that for this first session. We've set up a couple of artists, some CDs and some tracks. And in the next video I'll show you how to edit some of those things, and we'll go from there.